I want to talk about this Ugandan election.
Do it.
This is insane. All right, check this out. Starts off with the Uganda bans all social media ahead of election, sparking outrage. What's going on in Uganda right now is there's the sitting president. I believe this is him here. President Yoweri Museveni. Museveni. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. This guy's been in power since the 80s. Okay. And people have called for him to like give up, stop running. He's like, no, I keep winning all these elections. So I'm going to keep in power. But they shut down all social media in the country Tuesday after the country's longtime leader accused Facebook of taking sides in the upcoming presidential election. What? Facebook taking sides? No.
Oh, they would never do that.
They would never do that. The president, 76, apologized for the inconvenience caused by the ban, but said Uganda had no choice after Facebook removed several accounts tied to his re-election campaign. If you want to take sides against the ruling party, then that group will not operate in Uganda, he said in a national address. We cannot tolerate this arrogance of anybody coming to decide for us who is good and who is bad. Wow, he's pretty based right there.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook on Monday said it had taken down a network of accounts linked to Uganda's Ministry of Information that used fake and duplicate accounts to manage pages, comment on other people's content, impersonate users, reshare posts in groups to make them appear more popular than they were. The social networking giant didn't immediately respond to the president's comments on Tuesday, but Twitter, which also appeared to be affected by the ban, blasted the move. And I actually have that tweet. Twitter public policy. Ahead of the Ugandan election, we are hearing reports that the internet service providers are being ordered to block social media and messaging apps. We strongly condemn internet shutdowns. They are hugely harmful, violate basic human rights and the principles of the open internet. Did you hear that, Carlin?
I did, and I have to commend your gift choice there, Adam, because that is literally the face that I made when I read that tweet.
What? Twitter?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you say it's a basic human right for open internet and communication and being able to share ideas and
you know what it's like, Adam?
Wow.
It's like they don't actually believe anything that they're saying. That's what it's like.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they just do not care. You know what's even crazier? Right now in Uganda, they turned the internet off. There's literally no internet in Uganda right now. For the past 2 days, since Tuesday night, the internet has been off. This is unprecedented. Like, this is craziness what's going on right now. Okay? It's a war between a younger generation and an older, I don't want to say dictator, but the current president that's been in power for a long time wants to maintain that power. I mean, maybe he was using fake bots. I don't know.
Adam, are you saying that this is like the establishment trying to keep down the people that might actually vote them out of power? Is that what we're saying right now?
You said it. You said it. I may have been alluding to it, but what's crazy is that Twitter came out. Well, let me see if I got this. Here we go. Yeah, this is from Jack, who's the CEO of Twitter. He says, "I believe the internet and global public conversation is our best and most relevant method of achieving this." Well, this is actually a long thread. I also recognize it does not feel that way today. No.
Really, Jack?
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face when I was reading that. Everything we learn in this moment will better our effort and push us to be what we are, one humanity working together. Bull! That is bull crap. I'm sorry for all the youngins out there. I wanted to swear more than I did, okay? Because that is ridiculous, Jack. Get out of here. This is a whole thread about banning Donald Trump, which everyone knows. Twitter banned Donald Trump the day after on the 7th. He came back, and his first video back after being banned was, "I condemn the violence." Banned. Jack was like, whoa, he's condemning the violence? Ban him. That's literally what happened. He came out and said, look, I don't want any violence. You know, what happened yesterday was terrible. I didn't want that. And please stop being violent.
Yeah. And it's so ridiculous. This is such lip service right here because you know what? If I'm going to take anything Jack said seriously in this thread, I'm going to need him to unban all of the accounts that they have wrongfully banned, not just in the last week, but for years. Mikey Harlow should have a Twitter account. Shamika
Mikey
Michelle
Harlow
should have a Twitter account. Yeah,
no, Mikey
exactly.
Harlow deserves a little bit more than just an off sentence there. Absolutely. He got banned for nothing. 3 times.
3 times.
3 times he got banned. He got banned wrongfully because a bunch of people didn't like him and started reporting him. And then he fought it, got back on. And then like a week later, he was taken off and he was like, what did I do? And they're like, oh, sorry, that was an accident. Okay, and brought back on it. And then I think they haven't even responded for the third one.
No,
well, he's gone.
And the same thing happened to Shamika Michelle. I mean, she was locked out of her account because they said she needed to confirm her phone number or something. They never allowed her to do that, and then they just suspended her account a couple weeks later. So I'm going to need Jack to bring back all of the accounts that they have banned over the past 4 years for no good reason if I'm going to take anything he says seriously. But of course, we know we shouldn't take what he says seriously because now we have video from Project Veritas.
So Project Veritas just dropped this. You know, and I tweeted this out and I was like, who voted for Jack? Who voted for this guy to decide, you know, what we're allowed to say? So everything we just showed them about how internet is sacred and, you know, it's a basic human right. Twitter's words. Okay. Now they're saying, well, it's not anything that we didn't know already. Here's Jack basically saying we have to regulate. We got to pick and choose. Trump's causing what is the words that he chose?
This is bigger than just one account.
Yep, it's bigger than one account. It's going to go on beyond the inauguration. You know, the focus is clearly on Donald Trump, and how it ties to real world violence. He was literally calling for peace. He's the only president in the past freaking 20 years to not start war. Actually, it might be longer than that. I don't know exactly, but he didn't start any wars. In fact, he's downplayed all of our troops. He's brought many of our troops home and got them paid and got them raises because he respected the military. You know?
And one of the things we need to keep in mind when we're looking at Jack say it ties to real world violence, Jack is a far less left progressive. And so when he says the word violence, he means words are violence. He's not talking about like violence in the way that you and I would think of it. Their main words are violence. Yep,
you're absolutely right. Yep. So here's him saying that, you know, we have to, you know, like, he talks about QAnon a little bit. And it's like QAnon is like, what are they harming? Who are they harming? They talk about voter fraud, which is now proven to be real. They talk about sex trafficking, which is very real. The U.S. Marshals in the past year alone have rescued hundreds of kids across this country with different sex trafficking networks. I have Eliza Blue coming on my show to talk about it. She's actually a victim of it, and we're going to talk about it. That's the 23rd. I don't remember exactly, whatever, but it's coming soon. But these things exist. So they want these people to be considered crazy. So people think, oh man, QAnon's crazy. It must be crazy. It's like, yeah, well, they're fighting against sex trafficking and voter fraud, and they love this country. Okay. And don't get me wrong, there is the fringe of everybody. There's fringe everywhere. Like there's always going to be the crazies on all different sides of things. But for him to But for this guy to sit here and say we need to basically check who's going to be doing what in our platform, which, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a private company anymore. Stop using that argument. This whole, well, it's a private company. They can do what they want. No, it's a new world. Okay, we live in the time of the internet age. We didn't know how big the internet was going to be. It is now the new town square. It's the place. I mean, but President Trump wasn't allowed to ban anyone. He wasn't allowed to block anyone because his tweets were public forums. Well, why? Because he was one of the biggest figures in our country. And when he did a tweet, it was a public forum. All of Twitter and Facebook are public forums. These people are publishers. They're trying to choose which he's admitting it right here that they pick and choose who's going to be on their platform, while also sitting there saying that it is super important that everyone has access to the new town square, which I agree with that side of it. I actually agreed with Twitter for a second there, because I agree everyone should be able to be a part of the conversation and be on the internet.
And I gotta disagree a little bit, because I am not a fan of QAnon.
Part?
I'm not. I'm gonna detail. I'm not a fan of QAnon. I think that to be really frank, the last couple days that Parler was online, the Q stuff was off the hook, and I thought it was becoming really, really dangerous. And I'm not in favor of Parler being wiped off the internet, but I think there's blessings in everything, and maybe it was actually a good thing they got a little bit of a break, because it really was becoming dangerous. And so I don't think that most people who buy into that stuff are dangerous, but it was becoming dangerous. But I will say this too: if Jack is saying that all the accounts that got banned off Twitter are QAnon accounts, he is lying. He is flat.
Yeah, that was months ago. That was months ago. They did the Q purge.
Yeah, well, and they said that they said the other day it was like 70,000 QAnon accounts got banned. So they're trying to make it seem like it was just these accounts. There is someone in my locals community who barely used her Twitter, who got permanently banned for spam and platform manipulation. And she's like the least Q person you're ever going to meet in your life. So they're lying. They're full of it.
Right on. Well, I mean, as I said, there's people in every group. And look, I'm not in Q either. Like, I know what Q is. Like, there's like Q drops on 4chan, or maybe it's not 4chan. I don't know exactly where they're posted, but and I've seen some crazy pictures of these drops, and they don't make any sense. Okay, so so that side of it, I don't really, there's unfounded stuff where people blindly believe. And when you blindly believe anything, to throw it back to CNN, you have issues on either side of the aisle. You can never blindly believe anything in life. You must verify. You must, and it used to be trust but verify, and that's sadly not the thing anymore. It's distrust and verify is the new thing. You can't trust anything. You literally can't trust anything.